Last classes in the previous chapter, we have discussed the two modes of interacting with Python: interactive mode and escape mode. Okay. Python program, sometimes called a script mode, is a sequence of definitions of and commands. Clear? Now the last chapter over. Today, new chapter. We are going to start Python fundamentals. Python programming fundamentals. Okay, means is in this chapter we learn introductions, Python character set, tokens, bare bone of Python programs, variable and assignment, simple input and output in Python. So you know about the introductions. You must have heard the term IPO: input, process, output. These are the cycle, and computer work on this process. First input, second process, and third is output. Means you give the data, raw facts and figures, after then process, then you get the output. Okay, then you go get the output. Means कहता है कि most in the fact, nearly all daily life and computer actions are won by IPO cycles. That means the computers work on these three processes. Means you desire output, then you first give the input, and on the basis of input you get the output. That is, there is a certain input, certain kind of processing and an output. Do you know that programs make IPO cycle happens? So like anywhere and everywhere where you want to transform some kind of input to certain output, means जैसी आपकी इनपुट उस बेसिस पे आपका, जैसी आपकी इनपुट होगी वैसा आपको आउटपुट मिलता है. फॉर एग्जांपल्स, you want to make a cup of tea. That time, what is the input? Where it process, and where it, what you get output. That means you need raw materials. Raw materials like any, want to tell please? If you want to make a cup of tea, there is requirement some raw materials. What requirement? What raw material?
Tea, sugar, butter, milk.
Milk,
Good.
sugar.
That means girls are signatures. No one learn them make a tea. Okay. So you need raw materials like waters, milk, sugar, tea leaf, gingers, elaichi, etc. And when you put on the stove, after boiling, you get a cup of tea. Not a tea leaf, not a sugar, not a water. All are the mix and boil at the stoves, and after you get the process items, and that items is called the, that liquid is called the tea. And when you serve, just take a cup of tea. That means there is a so many raw materials required. As your taste depends on your taste, If you want to ginger taste, then you mix that ginger. If you want to elaichi taste, that time you give the elaichi. And the different types of leaves, and sugars, low sugar, high sugars, milk. So that means you get the output as per your input given, and here it process on a stove when boiling. That means you want to output, you must give the input. So have some kind of input in certain output, and you have to have a program. A program is a set of instructions that governs the processing. Means first of all software, then programs. What is a software? What is a program? Nothing else. Software is a collection of programs, and programs is a collection of instructions, set of instructions, because the computers work on the basis of your instructions, and that instructions given in the form of program, in the form of softwares. So all that instructions given, created, developed by some programmers. So if you want to do anything in computers on device, so you have a program, and that program means a program is a set of instructions that govern the processing. Means, in other words, a program forms the base of processing. Okay, understand? Clear or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So in these chapters, we shall be talking about all the basic elements Python, all the basic elements that Python programs can contain. इस चैप्टर में हमें क्या पढ़ना है? तो इस चैप्टर में पढ़ना है कि जितने भी पाइथन प्रोग्राम्स के एलिमेंट्स हैं, जो स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, हाउ टू स्टेटमेंट फॉर्म्स, इफ यू वांट टू राइट ए इंग्लिश सेंटेंस, a Hindi sentence. So first of all, you know the kaka, harsikar, dirghikar. If you want to in English, then you ABCD, then you grammars, then you word meaning, so many, and then you form the. So you know all things before the writing sentence in a language. So here you will also learn about the Python's basics, like character set, tokens, expressions, statements, input, output. Then we are ready to take our first sincere step towards the Python programming. यदि हमें प्रोग्रामिंग लिखने जा रहे हैं, प्रोग्राम को लिखने आना चाहिए, तो सबसे पहले इन सारी चीजों को आपको सीखना होगा कि हाउ टू राइट द प्रोग्राम, क्या होते हैं कैरेक्टर सेट, किसका मीनिंग क्या होता है, हम यदि कोई वर्ड लिख रहे हैं तो वर्ड क्या है, व्हाट इज द यूज, हाउ कैन बी यूज, इस जितनी सारी चीजें हैं हमें पढ़ना होगा, क्योंकि लैंग्वेज पढ़ रहे हैं और लैंग्वेज पढ़ने के पहले आपको हर चीज सीखना होगा। ऐसे भी किसी भी सॉफ्टवेयर में आप वर्क करते हैं तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नो द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द सॉफ्टवेयर, फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द प्रोग्राम, देन यू डू. So here is also. Okay, clear or not?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Clear? So then we go next. This one first, the Python character set. So Python character set, what is character set? So character set is a set of valid character that a language can recognize. A character represent any letter, digit, or any other symbols. So one questions, in Hindi, what is the meaning of A? Anyone can please give the answer. In Hindi
Sir, question
language,
repeated.
in Hindi language, what is the meaning of A, B, C?
Sir, ka, kha, ka.
In Kakha Kakha, that means ki A is the recognized characters, recognized alphabets in Hindi.
No, sir.
No, not at all. In the same thing, same way, in English, ka is the recognizable alphabets. Ka is the recognizable alphabets in English. No, ka is not. There is ABCD, some other characters, some other norms, some other. In Hindi, ka kha ga gha. In English, ABCD. So a language have already defined which alphabet, which characters recognizable in a language. So Python also having a own character set. Python also having a own character set. What should write? जिस तरह से जितनी भी लैंग्वेजेज है, आप हिंदी यूज करते हैं, इंग्लिश यूज करते हैं, उर्दू यूज करते हैं, संस्कृत यूज करते हैं, तो सबकी अपनी अपनी एक कैरेक्टर्स है, उसकी अपनी पहचान है, वो रिकॉग्नाइज करता है कि आप यदि इंग्लिश में क लिख रहे हैं तो उसका मीनिंग कुछ नहीं निकलेगा, वो रॉन्ग अल्फाबेट्स में आएगा। उसी तरह से हिंदी में आप ABCD लिख रहे हैं तो वहां कोई मीनिंग नहीं है। सेम थिंग से पाइथन having the own character set. So what is the character set? The character set is a set of valid characters that language can recognize. जिस characters को language recognize कर रहा है, language ये कर रहा है कि नहीं, इसका meaning ये है, चाहे इसका हम जानते हैं, उसी को हम लोग character set करते हैं. So Python having the own character set. ठीक है? Okay. And character set is a set of valid characters that a language can recognize, and a character represents any letter, digits, or any other symbols like this. So Python supports Unicode encoding standards. That means Python has also fluent. So what is the Unicode encoding standard? You know the encoding standard? You know about the encoding standard? Anyone? Give the answer. Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
You reply. You must reply. You know Unicode encoding standards. So in earlier the computers developed that time a ASCII codes. You know about the ASCII? ASCII is the encoding standards. ASCII is a encoding standards. You know about the ASCII?
No,
American Standard Code for Information Interchange. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Full form of ASCII. American Code for Information Interchange. This is a full form of ASCII. ASCII is a encoding standard. But in ASCII,
अमेरिकन स्टैंडर्ड
ST American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So American Standard, that means this is the encoding standard, and ASCII having only 256 characters. Only 256 characters. Here is the limitations. And why this encoding standard used in computing systems? You know very well that computers understand only 0 and 1. So when you write the A, so what is the meaning for computers? A is not understand by the computers. Computer understand only 0 and 1. Then when you write A, B, or etc., any symbols, other symbols, 9, 10, 8, all keys, all alphabets, all symbols already encoded and having a special number, for a particular alphabets, particular key, particular digits, particular symbols, having a particular number that is encoding standards, and that number converted into the 0 and 1 and huge. So in ASCII code, and this is just a earlier encoding standards, and is only 256 characters. Is only 256 characters. But today scenario, you have seen so many applications in Hindi, in Sanskrit, in Urdu, and other languages. How can it be possible? Because ASCII standard, encoding standards, having only English alphabets, like as A to Z, some other symbols, a small to capital, a small alphabets, capital alphabets, and some symbols, some arithmetic symbols, digits, finish. 256 character, finish. But today, our requirement, we use almost languages of the world. हर कंट्री अपने अपने लैंग्वेज में ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डेवलप कर चुका है. हर स्टेट, हर एक रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस पे प्रोग्राम बना हुआ है, प्रोग्राम है, सॉफ्टवेयर है. तो हाउ इट कैन पॉसिबल? तो जस्ट we have used today in the Unicode standards, like a Java, Pythons, it support the Unicode standards. ASCII Unicoding standards, after then ISCII encoding standards, Indian standard, then Unicode means universal code. Full form Unicode, universal encoding standard system. That means Unicode having 65,000 plus characters. Unicode के अंदर कितने characters आ गए? 65,000 plus characters इसमें. Means कि maximum languages of the world are included in Unicode standards. So when the language support the Unicode standard, that means you are able to write the program, you are able to develop the softwares in different language, because Python support the Unicode standards. Okay. Then these are the character set of Pythons, and letters, small a to z, capital A to z, then digits 0 to 9, special symbols, and these are the symbols, white spaces, and other characters. Python can process all ASCII and Unicode character as part of data or letters. It is clear? Python
Yes, sir.
characters, it is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Then we move next. So Python character set, Python having own character set using Unicode encoding standards. If someone asks the questions from you, he what character, what a standard, what encoding standard used in Python. So you give the answers Unicode. Unicode means universal codes. Okay. No
Yes,
any
sir.
questions? No any questions regarding encoding standards? If any questions regarding encoding standard, then you ask. Encoding standards, finish. Second, tokens. So tokens means the smallest individual unit. When you write a single dot in a program, when you write a single dot in a program, means that dots known as a tokens. So in a passage of text, individual words, punctuation marks are called tokens. Means any individual dot, any individual, the smallest individual unit is called the tokens. So how many types of tokens? Means when we write the equal signs, when we put the dots, when we put the slash sign, when you write the input, output, all are the tokens. But which type of tokens? Python has flowing tokens. That means different types of tokens. How many types? There are 5 types: keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and punctuators. Means some alphabets or some words may be known as the keywords, may be known as the identifiers, may be known as the literals. So each and everything writing in a program that identify by the tokens, and this type of tokens you identify things. Then first of all, keywords. What is keywords? So keywords are the words that convey a special meaning to the language compiler. That means they are called the reserved word also, a special word also. Means they having a special meaning. Let's suppose that when you write the is in a sentence, so is having the special meaning in a sentence. When you write the are, the special meaning. When you put the any other, so this way the keyword also convey the special meaning to the compiler, and that word are known as the reserved word, and reserved for a special purpose, and you not be used as a normal identifiers and normal names. जो पहले से डिफाइंड है, ऑलरेडी कीवर्ड है, कीवर्ड हम उसी को कहते हैं कि जो पहले से ऑलरेडी डिफाइंड वर्ड है, एंड डिफाइंड वर्ड दैट मीन्स कि डिफाइंड विथ सम स्पेशल टास्क, सम स्पेशल वर्क. उस वर्ड को फिर हम नया कोई चीज में यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं, कोई आइडेंटिफायर के रूप में यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं, कोई नया उसका असाइनमेंट नहीं हो सकता. जो उसका वर्क ऑलरेडी असाइन है वो असाइन. इट इज क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
or
Yes, sir.
not? So here is the identifiers: false, none, true, and, as, hazard, break, class. These are the reserved words. These are the keywords and having the special meaning to the compiler. Okay. Next, identifiers, names. So identifiers means when we define, when we create, when we giving the name to any building block, fundamental building block, that is known as the identifiers. Means identifiers are fundamental building block of a program and are used as a general terminology for the names given to different parts of the program, like as variable, object, class, functions, list, dictionary. ये सब हम लोग नेक्स्ट आगे पढ़ना है कि वेरिएबल क्या है, ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है। लेकिन जब भी कुछ किसी का नेम गिविंग हो रहा है, नाम दे रहे हैं, जैसे लाइक एज नाउ, तो कहता है किसी भी चीज को आप नया नाम दे रहे हैं, तो नया नाम असाइन कर रहे हैं, वो हमारा आइडेंटिफायर्स होता है। ठीक है, क्या होता है? आइडेंटिफायर्स। You need to define a variables. You need to define create objects. You need to create a variables, classes. So you have to give the name to the variables, objects, class, functions. So when you putting the names, when you giving the names, that name is known as the identifiers. क्या कहेंगे उसको हम?
Identifiers.
ठीक है। Okay, so today class we have learned so many things. Python's character set is over. Then tokens, different types of tokens, and one by one tokens clear. But you must remember how many types of tokens, what is the character set, what is the encoding standards, etc. And then keywords and then identifiers. In next class, we start from identifiers and some rules for identifiers. यदि हम किसी का नाम दे रहे हैं, नेमिंग कर रहे हैं, तो आइडेंटिफायर्स का rules, we have to follow the rules. Okay, we have to follow the rules for identifiers. How can we define, how can we give the name? So these things carried on next class. Okay, these things carried on next class.